What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Suppe. His opponent today in the red color, hailing from the mighty regions of North America. He's a handsome man. He has an ethereal presence when you're around him, an aura of omniscience to some degree. He's been a top 1 player for many years. However, he stopped and had a family and lost all of his skills. His name is ChronoJJ, and he is playing Kronos in the red color. I love watching ChronoJJ. It's always a fun time. I don't know if this is a tournament game or not. It might have been. Might have been a part of something. I can't exactly remember. If someone in chat knows, let me know. We do see the dot coming up here for Suppe. He drops his house as well. Another dot coming out here as well. I think against Kronos, you don't want to drop this house. You want to drop the dock and then the second dock. No, I guess he didn't use the deconstruction here. Well, that's the thing. And then you can throw the house down a little bit later, but an interesting play here from Krono. He decides not to use his deconstruction here in this game. We'll have to wait and see what he's going to do with it, but it does look like he's getting a fairly standard early game here. We've got 3 villagers on wood right now for whichever reason, as his villagers drops over here onto food. Got all his fishing ships out. Not all of them, but a lot of his fishing ships out. Suppe, on the other hand, he's just going to be pumping out his fishing ships, trying to get to the classical age at a decent time. Thor is one of the best Norse players to kind of deal with early game Kronos, because what you can do with Thor is get to the classical age in about 4 minutes and 20 seconds, which is only about 20 or 10 seconds behind, 10 to 15 seconds behind Kronos fast advance. And you can go through 4 setting, get yourself out of Herser and defending sort of early pressure with the troll and the Herser, and then you can defend underneath your docks nice and easily. But ChronoJJ right now, he's going to have access to 2 deconstructions on the water, so we'll have to see. So apparently this was part of the meta plays tournament, which is the Wisdom of Thoth, I believe. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here. Is the villager, as it looks like ChronoJJ is deciding to go for more of a standard advance time rather than the super fast advance time that he has been so in love with for quite a while. As I said, the temple coming up here for Suppe. He's going to be happy about this, because generally speaking, Kronos players on Mediterranean they're very, very tough to deal with. And we see, looks like the temple is maybe just a little bit late here from Suppe. I'm not sure exactly why that is. He went for 1 extra villager. I think what you want to do, maybe? No, I don't know. Suppe's going to be getting up at 3:35, so it's actually not that bad in this situation. Because ChronoJJ is going to be getting a 4:35 as well, because he didn't quite make that work to the best of his ability. As he comes over and he's going to drop the dock as well. Needs to get himself a couple more fishing ships out here as the citizens waiting to drop that next dock on this position here. We'll see how he's going to go as the temple is slowly starting to come through, as Suppe's getting himself that 3rd dock over here. A really big play here from ChronoJJ would be to deconstruct that temple and deny the Valkyrie here, because Suppe's going through Freya, and denying the Valkyrie is pretty much everything in terms of value you get from Freya. And I think that 9 times out of 10, I would wait. What is that? What is that? What is that temple? 9 times out of 10, I would prefer to go for Forseti here, but given the situation that Suppe's in, he's actually made the right call. I would say going through Freya. We'll see how things are going to go, because ChronoJJ has actually opted to not get himself he's not get the 6th fishing ship, and not even get the 9th fishing ship, not get the 6th fishing ship. So he's going very, very heavy on the water as we see the oracles coming through over here. A little bit of micro here, trying to put pressure onto these villagers over here, going after that ox cart as well. Ox cart doesn't fight back all too much as we see the villagers starting to get attacked here. And will we see a villager get killed off? Yes, we do. Big play here for ChronoJJ as the Hersa does get kept alive. One very low HP oracle hero remaining as the Bareem's coming through onto this position as Suppe's going to attempt to defend over here as Oracle's going to continue to move back in onto this position over here. ChronoJJ not paying attention over here just yet, still retreating back and forth here, trying to get as much damage as he possibly can here as we see the deconstruction coming in onto this position, trying to get a little bit of damage done onto the docks here. But that just gives Suppe a little bit more wood to play with, in all honesty. As the Promethean, it looks like it was taking out some of those houses over there. Did manage to pick off one. He gets another Promethean out. It's the villagers over here going to continue to chop these trees down. One easy way to play around this is just to move back onto your straggler trees and chop those down for a little bit and maybe move over to the other side of the map as an idea. But Suppe is maintaining this position fairly nicely as ChronoJJ sitting 50 population here, 52 population, 8 Bareems at this point, getting some good micro in onto Suppe's longboats, trying to chase those down. You do have to remember it's 7.25 speed. Bareems will be able to chase those longboats down fairly nicely as we will be seeing the temple retreating all the way back home as ChronoJJ needs to play around. The Valkyrie sniping down one villager here in this position as well as he is still motoring back and forth here. We will be seeing one of those oracles does end up getting taken out here as the, or not quite taken out, but very low HP as the army going to be pulling back away. And what I wouldn't mind seeing here from ChronoJJ is like an extra villager onto gold and just making himself 3 more oracles to Valor again. And that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here from ChronoJJ to deal with the potential Valkyrie raids that are going to be coming through. As the longboats get good micro back there from ChronoJJ, going to try and take out these longboats as best as he possibly can. Suppe cannot really retreat here. He's trying to focus fire this as best as he can, but Chrono gets the micro in nicely, pulling back his boats nice and efficiently here, not over pulling back, but he does need to get the Bareem back into the fight here. Sometimes it's worth it to just like click far enough back and then shift click the boat back into the fight because you know your opponent's going to be fixing his own longboats up most of the time, as we will be seeing the Valkyrie coming in onto this position. 2 oracles coming through. Citizen's going to start getting taken out here ever so slowly. Will we see? I think it'll be worth it to just click the Valor on these 2 oracles here to try and deal with this Valkyrie instead of having these idle Citizen here to some degree, but he will be bringing his own hero oracles back here to deal with this. As do we see that 3rd oracle? Yes, we do, but he's housed in classic ChronoJJ fashion. Classic ChronoJJ fashion. He is housed and he is having some issues. As we see an attempt at a bit of a block there from the manners. And Kronos just sitting back here, waiting, wishing, hoping, and there's that mana coming through as the Valor still wants to be dropped down here. We'll see if it's going to come through. See the 3rd dot coming up for ChronoJJ as well, as there's the Valor getting dropped down, and we can start seeing some more raids coming through for ChronoJJ very, very shortly here as Suppe's going to be dropping some walls. Very aggressive walls here from Suppe. Love to see it. Normally you see walls being pretty defensive over here, but Suppe comes in and says, this town center, not for you. He's going to wall off the bottom over here. He's going to wall off the top and prevent that town center from ever coming up. As Suppe is playing it nice and slowly, getting himself that 3rd dock back up. More houses coming through. Just playing defensively with these boats. You do not need to win the water against Atlantean ever. You just need to play defensively, and you should be fine here with Thor most of the time. But ChronoJJ sitting with a bit of an advantage here in terms of population, sitting at 96 population to Suppe's 78, so he should be able to find himself somewhat of an advantage against this navy that Suppe has constructed here in this game. We'll see what Suppe's gonna decide to do when all is said and done, because he can basically decide to just give up on the water here and go for a town center or 2. Instead of holding on to it and actually be in a really good position, especially if he finishes this wall off on this town center over here. That's ChronoJJ coming back in, still trying to find some good damage here in on this position. As we see the Oracle heroes coming back in over here, going to take out a couple of villagers yet again. Nice play from Chrono, keeping the pressure up on this position. We will be seeing a Hersa searching around here as best as it can as the villagers do turn around. That was 2 villager picks there for those Oracle heroes. And you've got to look at these Oracle heroes and you go 140 HP, 8.4 damage versus the 8.8 damage, 143 HP of a Hersa. They're basically a Hersa in terms of damage, and they do have a little bit less effective HP because of the less armor, but more speed, and it's an interesting assessment when it all comes down to it. As we do see Suppe attempting to push out here, he's got 20 longboats, which is kind of a bit of a critical mass here, and ChronoJJ is going to have his work cut out for him trying to deal with this. He does retreat back, though. I'm not sure what he's retreating back to at this point as he's sitting underneath these docks trying... He needs to get firing here. Retreat if you want, but make sure your boats are all attacking as Suppe pushes through. He's got the foot on the pedal and he says, I want to get that damage done. As Suppe's in a really good position now. We do see this citizen sitting over here wanting to get this town center up, but just not able to just yet as the Oracle hero is moving around on this position. We see the Valkyrie chasing that one down as Suppe maybe over pushing in onto this position. 90 population or nearly 100% population for ChronoJJ to Suppe's 100 population himself, as we will be seeing 15 longboats dropping incredibly fast now. Lots of these longboats have got very low HP as they are getting picked off very, very fast here as ChronoJJ's 16 Bareem still has a little bit more, as we will be seeing the Valkyrie does manage to get sniped down there. One of those Hersa does manage to get sniped down as well. As a citizen still sitting idle here for Chrono as he's still not able to get himself that town center that he wants. Just put the villager back onto wood, my friend. And we'll see how things are going to go. But now Suppe sitting back here, still biding his time here, sniping down some of those Bareems. This is a nice fight for Suppe as ChronoJJ not paying attention. He needs to get his fishing ships back in order here. As the longboat's coming through, trying to take out the fishing ship as best as he possibly can. As the longboat's doing everything they can to push through here. We've got 14 longboats in against the 16 Bareems with the double docks over here. This is going to be too much. We haven't seen Suppe getting himself an armory just yet, it seems, or no armory upgrades at the very least. But he's still got the big advantage in terms of the navy just because he's Norse. Norse gets all of the advantage later on the water, as we do see that the town center will be coming up over here. Look at all the Valkyrie coming through now for Suppe. He's got so many Valkyrie to hit raids onto Chrono. Chrono's going to be in such a difficult position. Chrono, he's got 15 idle villages. Does he have idle fishing ships as well? Maybe, not really. You see the town center coming up as the manor is in here. We do have a handful of those hero, those oracles here. The third oracle hero are going to be coming in as well, as I'm sure that the Val will get thrown down here as the citizen needs to get kept alive. Going to be able to garrison into that manor over here, as the Valkyrie does manage to snipe one of those oracle heroes there before potentially retreating away. As the longboat's coming back in onto this position, villagers starting to get moving. And Kronos still has got himself idle villagers here up the wazoo. I think Chrono doesn't play with the separate villager, the villager thing. So he thinks that he's just got idle fishing ships here because it gets bundled into one, which is obviously not ideal. He's forgotten about that citizen for the past, I don't know how long.
Yo.
Forgotten citizen. The forgotten citizen. What a sad, sad state of affairs there. Bit of a forest fire coming through, trying to take out the oracles here with that one, so he can continue the pressure with his Valkyrie and try and pick off a citizen or two here. They're moving very far away from that manor. Not exactly what he wants here. Is the citizen going to turn around and start shaking down the Valkyries here? One citizen does go down. The Bareem's pushing through onto this position as Chrono has to retreat away here. Those hero oracles getting a lot of value out of them, trying to take out those Valkyries as best as they can, but good marker here from Suppe, dragging the We see the forest fire getting another citizen kill here, getting 2 oracle kills here. The Valkyrie is coming through to get another citizen kill here. Suppe is in such a commanding position moving forward here in this game. This town's end getting denied as well as the Ulfsarks pushing through as Suppe is trying to stamp his advantage into this game as the longboats retreating back home. We still haven't really got any military buildings up for ChronoJJ just yet. As the mana goes down, even more citizen, or there's 3 citizen in here that are not going to be able to make a retreat here in this game. If Suppe pays any attention to it, those citizen will not be pulling away from here. And ChronoJJ losing 3 more is an absolute huge hit to his economy, as they're going to be attempting to make a retreat over into the corner here, but the Ulfsark will be able to pick off the hero citizen, and those other 2 citizens do fall down. Meanwhile, this gold mine gets pushed off by those Valkyrie as well, as he's trying to pull back into his main base. A couple more barracks coming up over here. Kronos got a decent amount of resources in the back. He might be trying to get to the heroic age. Potentially Hyperion or something here could be a big help moving forward, but we'll have to wait and see how it's all going to shape up, as Suppe here is checking out on this location. He gets the walls down to try. He's blocked these citizens' retreat path off, as the Valkyrie going to be moving around onto that location. So many medium Ulfsark coming through here as well, as Suppe has done the damage onto ChronoJJ's naval economy here. We do see some units trying to break through this this wall here, but Suppe can just ignore them, go straight after the villagers here. As we see a cheeky walls coming in, Sentry Tower coming up as well for Suppe. Very, very cheeky play here from Suppe to get that up. We'll see if he's going to go after this town center, as we finally see that citizen's been sitting idle for so long, getting that town center up, which ChronoJ's been wanting for absolute eon here. As the unit's going to try and break down that that wall over there. Is still no town center up, but I imagine Suppe going up through Prague. Why not go through Prague at this point? Why not? You could do anything here. Starting to see some farms coming up for ChronoJJ. The never give up, never surrender attitude of ChronoJJ on full display here, as he's got 4 villagers on food, 9 citizen on wood, 3 on gold, and the docks are going to start getting torn down here by those Ulfsarks. We do see a couple of Bareems trying to get produced here while this is all going on, but that will just cue the longbows to come back in and take them out. We do see the Hurster gets disrupted here, but a couple more units coming out for Suppe on that position is going to be no real problem for him. As we see some more of those longboats coming out. Bareem's getting taken down. The watchtower does fall on that position as well, as the docks over here are going to start getting taken down. We see Bragi through for Suppe as he clicks the flaming weapons here to allow his longbows the bonus damage to take out the Bareems. Good retreat here though from Chrono to pull the longboats away, but these docks are all going to be falling very, very fast. Do we see a market coming up for like a Mythic Age of some variety? No, this Ulfsark has got 19.8 damage, but will end up falling here. As the rest of these units finish off the final of the docks of ChronoJJ, and Suppe will be able to stamp his advantage here in this game. One thing that I think that a lot of players don't do, but definitely should do, is on Mediterranean, you often get these perch on the side of the water, and throwing up a dock here and grabbing these perch is well worth it on both sides for the most part. Or even Suppe could just throw a dock up over here as well, and grab these fish here as well if he so chose. As the Valkyrie's coming back in over, you've got ChronoJJ with the mass Murmillo at this point trying to hold on, but the battle ball coming through onto the town center. It's going to be a very, very tough thing to hold, as ChronoJJ, he's got the 2 town centers up trying to pump his units, but will it be enough or not is the big question. Can ChronoJJ figure out a way back into this game? He's getting himself some Terma, some Caraballas to try and build some more Murmillo here, but the Murmillo are just getting absolutely dismantled as he finally does heroize a Murmillo hero here. As the town center does end up falling, And as so do ChronoJJ's hopes of winning this game. As this, we see heavy infantry through as well for Suppe, as the ChronoJJ hopes and dreams of many end up being sealed as he does tap out there. GG, well played by Suppe. A pretty of a clinical display of a fairly nice way to play against the Kronos in the early game here. I do think that while Suppe made the Freya work here to a lot better than I thought was possible with going for using that favor you get from fighting on the water into Valkyries to put pressure on. I think it's a little bit risky. I think that ChronoJJ, had he played a little bit better, had he not lost so many oracles here, or even if he just brought maybe like the weak oracles back home to defend against the Valkyrie raid, the early Valkyrie raid, and then made 3 fresh hero oracles to put pressure onto his opponent, could have been maybe a better way to play early, or even just using the deconstruct early on this dock to slow Suppe down. Getting up to 3 docks is a little bit too easy, and you want to be keeping the Thor on 2 docks in the early stages as best as you can to then deconstruct down to the 1 dock to have a really big advantage here. But ChronoJJ didn't decide to do that, didn't decide to really use his deconstruct. I think maybe using deconstruct on the temple as well would have been absolutely huge here as well. So maybe going for a faster advance time, trying to find the temple with your Promethean offspring, and then deconstructing that is another way to play here for Kronos to have more of an advantage. But well played by Suppe. He is an incredibly strong player. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.